Yes, this is an attempt to show how you record or lay down tracks on the Yamaha Motif es7. That's the expanded system 7. This is Pat. I'm going to attempt to show you some of the ins and outs. Your EF7 should come, if you look at the screen here, it should come with preloaded songs. This one here says reality TV, which is factory preloaded songs. You know, you could play them, and there are also some open slots after. See, there's 4 preloaded songs, and the slots afterwards are basically empty. You got a whole bunch of slots. As you can see, I'm turning it up. You got 64 slots, really 60 slots that are empty. So you're gonna work with the slots. And one of the ways you record, one of the methods that I used is by putting it in song mode. Song mode is over here on this side. Put it in the song mode. Then after you put it into song mode, if you look up here, it has tracks from 1 to 16. On song number 5, it has tracks from 1 to 16. Right now, I have 8 tracks worth of songs. The beat measurement, the beat count is 120. It'll start you off on the first measure, but before you record, you will see a negative measure here. That is to, like, it's like a running start before you get actually to the first measure. So right now I have 8 tracks that have been recorded on. As you can see, they got the full boxes, and the ones that have not been recorded on are the ones with the empty boxes. And if you look over here to the right of the keyboard, you have the areas that are lit up, the tracks that are actually laid down, the 8 tracks. I'm going across. Right now there's a malfunction in my keyboard. It's track number 4, cannot be taken away. But I'm gonna play the song for you that I have. This is song number 5. It's a little house music theme that I put together. As you know, this is from the first measure, right? And if you go through the tracks here, I'm gonna slowly subtract the tracks. That's what I have on track 4. This is what I added on track 1. What I added on track 2. Little snare and hi-hat. Some more. Chords laid out on number 5. Some more percussions. It's mostly percussions, the song is. Then the last track here was the bass drum. But if you listen to it all put together, I did not quantize. Quantize will help a lot of people when you, in terms you lay down your tracks. Now going back over to song number 6. As you can see, song number 6 here also has a few tracks. It's about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 tracks on song number 6. It's a much slower version, as you can see. It's 80 beat per measure. Metronome count, that is. It's got the 4/4 measures. As I go over here and play it. It's only 1 track coming up, but when actually you light it all up, this is what it sounds like. I'm going back to the first measure. These are little songs that I put together quickly, breaking down the tracks. Once again, track number 4 how you basically do it is I'm gonna pick a slot. Let's go to number 10. Have not used 10. If you look across 10, there hasn't been any tracks that's been recorded on. So I'm in song mode. I go to record, and when you hit the record button, it should light up and stay lit. Now, if you read the screen, the first track is lit up here, and then it tells you here, the control cursor here controls, this here controls the number count, and this here is the cursor just to travel across. So you have replace, overdub, punch. I usually like to go to replace. Quantize is off, and this keyboard is set for 120 beats per measure, which to me is a little fast. So as I go across with the cursor here, I slow it down. I could slow it down and speed it up even as the song is playing. Unless you're into that fast house music, I recommend that you start off at about 90. 90 should be pretty good. And if you're doing anything like a ballad, I suggest anything around 70, 80, maybe even 60 if it's that slow. Then after you hit record, you go to the tracks. Then there's an area right here at the bottom that says voice. Now, right now, the voice that it's on is grand piano. You hit voice. Then there's a pre button here that is lit on. Now, you also have a volume of the track, of rather the sound quality that you're about to pick. That's what the volume is for. You can increase the sound or lower the sound, because you might have some sounds in here that are extremely loud and you don't want it to overshadow the entire track. So you might want to work out how you control that. And then if you go into pre here, it already has some sounds that are preset. If you it has preset 1, 3, and 4, and then if you slide the cursor over, it has different sounds that it tells you on top what it is. But I like to go to this area of the keyboard. This area of the keyboard access me to the whole sounds all the sounds that's programmed in here, and I could basically go to whatever sound is in the keyboard and apply it on that first track. Now, I'm gonna select a track just for selecting a track, rather a sound, and we'll go with little electric piano sound. After you've chosen the sound and you've already have the beats per minute, which is, I believe I set it on either 80 or 90. Now you hit the play button while the record button is on. When you hit that, it starts the clicking motion. The clicking sound is the beat per measure that you have chosen. There is a way, however, to eliminate the sound. Sometimes I find that the sound interferes with my train of thought as I am producing the sound that I want recorded. So 2, 3, 4, now it goes in, and you can just basically lay down whatever tracks you want to, and it's now, after you've laid that sound down, see the first box is filled, and then you have the rest of them empty. So when you press play, it's gonna play that particular song and any tracks that's recorded on into that particular song. Being that I started late, it's got a late count to it. Now, I recorded that. If you followed it with the cursor down here, It's 90 beats per minute, and it starts out in the first measure. Now I'm gonna play this again. You're gonna see the measure count move up as it's playing. See, I was a little late starting. You can speed it up. So far, that's one of the ways that you put down a song into the motif on selected tracks. Every song has about 16 main tracks. You could put more than one sound per track. It's got a variety of sounds you can put together. It helps you out sometimes, even if you go into like the drum section. If you go into, now go into track 2, just for the sake of it, and I wanted drums. So I got track 2, replace. It's on the first measure, same beat count. And I'm gonna go into voice. Go into voice. Now I'm gonna select the sound. I'm going into drums. And drums, percussion. It helps you out when, if you look over at the drum section here, it gives you rock, hip hop, R&B, techno, house, analog. I mean, there's such a variety based upon the genre of music that you are writing. I hope this information helps anyone else out there that has any more questions in regards to recording. I'll probably be doing this in sections, and I would appreciate any comment, any inquiries, or all inquiries are welcome. Thank you. Thanks. Man, that was 12 minutes.